Hey guys, DC Network here, coming at you with another video. Last week I made a video discussing Total Drama Island's second season. Where is it? It premiered over a year ago in Canada, and for whatever reason here in the US there has been zero mention of it thus far. Card above to that video if you haven't seen it yet. Interestingly enough, or coincidentally I should say, around the time at which I was making this video and when I got it edited and uploaded on YouTube, I saw that apparently word has gotten out there that Total Drama Island has been cancelled. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, one of the people who works on Total Drama Island's revival has come out publicly and said that the show has been cancelled and there will not be more Total Drama. We have a quote that reads as follows, courtesy of TuneHigh for putting this on Twitter. Everyone was slowly laid off for the next few months and the studio is pretty much shuttered. There hasn't been any work since and Total Drama is effectively dead. There will never be a season 3. So yeah, apparently Total Drama Island has been cancelled. Apparently the people over at the studio have been laid off and they're not working on anything right now, most likely meaning that the franchise is dead, at least for now. I have some pretty mixed feelings about this, quite frankly. Number one, I'm a little bit confused because word broke out a few months ago that we're getting a Total Drama movie, or at least a movie is in the early stages of development, so I'm a little bit confused to be hearing that the studio has laid off all the people who worked on the series, given that they're working on a movie right now. Why would they get rid of all the people who work on the show if they're going to be working on a movie soon? The person did say in this quote here they were laid off for the next few months, so maybe it's kind of like a furlough where they're not getting paid right now because nothing is actively going on, but in a few months they're going to try to rehire all of these people and bring them back on board to work on the movie. Who knows? That's just speculation on my part here, but what we do know is apparently this is indicating that there is not going to be a season 3 of Total Drama Island, which this is where I'm not surprised, quite frankly. I've said this time and time again on this channel, but the way Cartoon Network is handling the Total Drama Island revival is going to get the revival killed. It's going to get the revival canceled. I said this in my video last week, but essentially the first season of Total Drama came out in 2023, then it didn't come out in the US till well over a year later in 2024 in the summertime. Last spring, around this time actually, we had the second season premiering in Canada. We're sitting here a year later in the US and there's no word on when the second season is coming out. What then happens is these episodes leak online, you can watch them illegally, and people watch the show that way as opposed to supporting the series by watching it through Cartoon Network or Max. I am not at all surprised to be hearing there's not going to be a third season because quite frankly, based on the way they've been handling it, I did not think there would be more Total Drama because they've been handling it absolutely horribly. And again, this is a shame because it's no fault of the show itself that this is all happening. This all falls on the hands of the network. Like, you are the one who's in charge of scheduling out your year, scheduling out when this program is going to premiere on the channel, how you want to fit it into your schedule that you're planning for the next year or so. And for whatever reason, they've just held it back. They haven't really been talking about it. And furthermore, which this to me is even a bigger indictment on the network for not doing this, why are there no Total Drama Island reruns airing on Cartoon Network right now? Like, there's a second season of this show coming. The finale of the first season straight up said, hey, you're all coming back for season 2. Woo, yeah, we're gonna do another run of this show. And you're not airing this show at all on your channel. I just don't understand what they're doing. Yes, I know they are airing Total Drama Rama, but that has zero connection to this Total Drama Island revival. They should be airing reruns of the first season of the revival. Heck, even before the first season came on the air, I was saying, why are we not having reruns of Total Drama Island, the OG Total Drama Island? Why not reruns of Action, World Tour, etc., etc.? Instead, Cartoon Network is kind of just sitting there pretending like Total Drama doesn't exist right now, which if this is a franchise that you're trying to bring back into the spotlight, if this is a franchise you're trying to build up again and make it a huge franchise again like it was back in the late 2000s, you can't be treating it and you can't be handling it this way. When this show was first announced to be coming back, I remember that day very fondly. I believe it was February 21st of 2021, somewhere around there. We had that Warner Media event because it was before the Warner Brothers Discovery merger even happened, and I remember that day very vividly because so much was dropping in terms of Cartoon Network. That was the day we got the announcement of the Amazing World of Gumball movie. That was the day we got the Total Drama Island revival announced. That was the day we got announced that Generator Rex was returning in the Ben 10 reboot. There was so much announced on that day, and I remember, I think within the span of 24 hours, maybe 48 hours, I uploaded like 7 videos just because of all that was announced. I think Cartoonito was even announced that day as well. And the video that did the best out of those 7 videos I recorded was that Total Drama Island announcement video. I believe it got something like 19,000 10,000 or 20,000 views in the first few days of it being up. That just shows you there's a lot of interest in this franchise right now. And again, it is a shame because people are interested in seeing more total drama, but the way you've handled this revival series has completely destroyed any interest in the franchise by a lot of people. You can't have the first season air in other parts of the world and then hold it for well over a year to air in the US. Same thing goes for season 2. People are going to find alternative ways to watch the series, which in turn lowers viewership, lowers ratings on the show, which is going to tell Cartoon Network, oh, people must not want Total Drama Island. This was a misstep on our part. No one's watching it, so let's cancel it. And no, that is not the case. People want to see Total Drama. It's just you guys have completely fumbled the bag when it comes to releasing this series here in the US. And unfortunately, they are basing this all off of the US numbers. I'm sure they're taking the rest of the world and their viewership into account as well, but the company is a US based company. I remember someone who worked on the series said last year that this first season premiering on Cartoon Network is literally going to determine the future of Total Drama, because if the ratings are good, there's going to be more. If the ratings are bad, they're going to cancel it. And well, I guess the ratings weren't all that great because we're not getting a third season, and I really do wonder why. It can't be because they held this show for well over a year and you could watch it for free on the internet for the past year. That definitely has nothing to do with it. Of course, I'm being sarcastic here. I just would love to know, like, what did you think was going to happen, Cartoon Network? What did you think was going to happen when you held this show back for well over a year? Did you think people were just going to sit there and just pretend like, oh, it's not out there in other parts of the world and I can't watch it online? Because people weren't pretending that was the case. People were watching it online illegally, which in turn is going to hurt your viewership on your channel. Overall, like I said before, the situation is really a shame because Total Drama Island's revival really had the potential to be something huge. I've been vocal on this channel saying that I don't think the revival is all that great. I think it pales in comparison to the original run of the Total Drama franchise. I just don't really like the characters as much as the original characters. I didn't think they developed them all that well in the early parts of the season. Towards the end of the season, I did think some of the characters became more interesting because we had some actual character development with them, but for the most part, the characters were just kind of rushed past because this season was so short and they didn't really give the proper time to develop these characters and their personality. But that's neither here nor there. For now, it looks like this is the end of Total Drama, and it's a shame. I mean, there is that movie that I discussed earlier in this video. Has that been canceled too? We don't really know. We just know for now that apparently everyone at the studio has been laid off and there is going to be no season 3. So for now, this looks like it's going to be the end of Total Drama, unless if the movie is still happening. But I would have to imagine if they fired everyone at the studio, that probably means that the movie's been canceled. Anyways, let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about all this. What do you guys think about the fate of Total Drama Island? The fact that it looks like this series has been canceled after this short-lived revival came out on Cartoon Network. Do you agree with me that this all has to do with the way Cartoon Network has handled this show? If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more content like this from DC Network. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.